guys, it's Sim, and this is Wrestling Unlimited, as it's Friday, and that means tonight was Friday Night Smackdown. And if I'm gonna be completely honest, this was just an all-right episode of Smackdown. Like, not much of anything intrigued me. Like, intrigued me. That's not the right word. Intrigued me. Like, nothing really piqued my interest on this show, to be completely honest. It was just a by the numbers, generic pre-taped show, to the point where I was like, do I even do a review? Because it was just there. Meh. If I'm going to be completely honest. Like, wasn't that great of a SmackDown? Like, I don't know how many people it's going to hype up for tomorrow's pay-per-view. PLE, whatever you want to call it. So, yeah. That ain't good. That is not good. But we will be doing a live stream after tomorrow's Survivor Series, War Games, pay-per-view, premium live event, whatever you want to call it. I still say pay-per-view, but see how it all does go. We do have a AAA show on tonight as well. Rey Mysterio, I think, is working that show. He's on the thumbnail, and I've heard that he might be working the show. I haven't double-checked it, but we'll see how that show does go as well. Should be fun. The last AAA show was good. The issue, though, last AAA show, now this is just, you know, if you guys missed it kind of stuff. Last AAA show, we did see Dominic Mysterio and El Grande Americano, can't speak tonight, have deemed themselves the new El Gringos Loco. They're El Gringos Locos 2.0. And well, they have been challenged for a show in December against the reunited Lucha Bros. But we don't know if that match is now happening or not, because Penta suffered a shoulder injury, a dislocated shoulder on Raw this past week. So we'll have to see how that all goes with Penta's injury and if he's going to be cleared by the time that December show does come. I don't know what day in December. I know it was for a show in December. But with all of that, I'll say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you're watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel one of two different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime, because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for 4 games, and you always get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month. And I greatly appreciate it if you did right here, Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember, you can help us out over on YouTube by hitting that subscribe button. That way you know when we post new videos, when we go live, and when we post to the community tab. Remember, you guys can also post to the community tab because, well, it's now a community tab. It's a tab where anybody can interact with the PWU community, which is really cool, really fun. I don't know if enough of you know about it, but for the people that do interact on there and do post, I appreciate it. I highly appreciate it. But also remember, if you want to support the channel in another way, you can do so by donating a super chat in the live chat or by hitting the join button and becoming a channel member. As a channel member, you get a badge next to your name, emotes, and emojis that you can use in the live chat, and a lot more as well. Finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use this code right here, PW Unlimited, at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. New season of Fortnite comes out tomorrow, Chapter 7. Gonna be epic. And the Battle Pass, we're getting the bride from Kill Bill. We're getting Marty McFly and so much more. I do have to work tomorrow, so I will not be doing a live stream of the event. But Sunday, we'll probably do a live stream of the new season. Not sure what time I would like to do one tomorrow, but we got Survivor Series, and that's taking precedence, so we'll hang out on Sunday. I'll see you guys tomorrow as well. We'll hang out on Sunday for some Fortnite, but I'll also see you guys tomorrow for some Survivor Series. But we'll talk about Survivor Series more here in a little while. We gotta talk about SmackDown. Friday Night Smackdown tonight was a pre-taped show, taped last week. And if you watched on Netflix, this show flew by because we had no commercials. And you could skip the little 3-minute intro thing. And the show was an hour and 30 minutes, basically almost on the dot. Hour and 30, almost on the dot. It was a very easy show to watch. And they were just like, after the break, up next, we're going to get the Chelsea Green celebration. And it's like, usually when you're watching on Netflix, there's filler stuff for the commercial. Nope, just went straight to Chelsea's intro. As far as this show does go, there's a recap of everything went down with the women last week. After the recap, we see Asuka, Charlotte Flair walking into the building. They have a Survivor Series advantage match tonight. LA Knight was approached by Kathy Kelly about how Sheamus is injured and he's going to have a new opponent. She said she does not know who the opponent is as well. Nick Aldis doesn't know yet either. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? This is some dumb AEW level of booking where you've got a big match and don't even have the match done and finalized before the show starts. Nick Aldis should have known who the opponent was going to be before the show started. And then he could have either kicked off the show by saying, hey, just so LA Knight knows, tonight's opponent is going to be The Miz. Like, I don't care if the whole, LA Knight doesn't know before the show starts, but they should have let him know, like, at the start of the show. Like, Nick Aldis should just come on from his office and cold open the show and just saying, I just want to bring some information to the Last Time Is Now tournament. Due to Sheamus suffering a shoulder injury and being out of the tournament, he will no longer be facing LA Knight. LA Knight's new opponent has been chosen, and it's The Miz. And like, doing the whole thing with Truth and saying, oh, Truth, your name is still in the barrel. What? Name is still in the barrel? So there was more than 16 names, is that they want us to think? Okay, who didn't get chosen is now more interesting to me than who did. I want to know whose name was in there that didn't get chosen other than Truth. Like, that's what I want to know. What other non-WWE names were in there? What other WWE, Raw, SmackDown, NXT names were in there? I don't know. All we know is it was Truth. All we know that it was Truth. Big Give It All says, at what time was there any live on Netflix? I only saw the replay episode at 8. Yes, so there was no live on Netflix because it was a pre-tape show, and they've done this before. Because it's a pre-tape show, Netflix does not run a live stream. Just when SmackDown's supposed to air, that's when the show is available. That's why it was only an hour and a half, because it wasn't a live stream. They didn't have to add ads for anybody watching in certain countries. It was just hey, SmackDown is on. We have the full show already. Here it is. Watch it. So soon as 8 Eastern hit, boom. That's when it was live for everybody to watch on Netflix. Moving forward, we had our first match of the night in the John Cena Last Time Is Now tournament. It was Rusev versus Jey Uso. It was your typical big man, smaller guy match. Can't call Jey Uso a little guy, but it was a big man, powerhouse versus the flyer kind of deal. The bruiser versus the speed guy, I guess you would say. I don't know. Rusev went on the attack early on Uso immediately as the bell rang and stomped away at him for a while in the corner, and then connected with a suplex for an early pin attempt, and Uso kicked out. After a commercial break, Rusev had Uso trapped in a bear hug. Uso would struggle to break free from the hold, but did so eventually. Uso then began punching away at Rusev, finishing him off with his signature yeet punches. Uso attempted a Samoan drop, but couldn't really get Rusev up on his shoulders. The Bulgarian then applied an accolade, and Uso fought out of it and forced his opponent to the outside. He then floored Rusev with a suicide dive through the ropes. Eventually, the action got back in the ring, and Uso was able to hit that Samoan drop that he couldn't hit earlier. However, he went for a spear. And he hit the Samoan drop. Uso then targeted Rusev for a spear. However, Rusev kicked out at 1 after the spear. Commentary lost their shit, going, oh my God, I won. So Jey tried to go to the top, but he was intercepted by a Machka kick from Rusev upon landing. But Rusev only got a 2 off of this. As he moved forward, Rusev signaled that it was game over. And then he put Uso in the accolade submission hold. After a brief struggle, though, Uso was able to make it to the bottom rope to break the hold. Rusev put Uso on his shoulders and mocked John Cena with the "you can't see me," like he was going to go for the attitude adjustment. But doing the "you can't see me" took too much time. This gave Uso enough time to escape, hit Rusev with a spear, go up top for the Uso splash, and pin him 1, 2, 3. Jey Uso moves on in the John Cena Last Time Is Now tournament. They also did tell us, as far as the tournament does go, the finals are next week on SmackDown. So the final match in the tournament is next week on SmackDown. Moving forward, also went to the movies tonight. AMC went before SmackDown. Saw Zootopia 2. Great movie. Now, for me, I would say maybe a little bit better or worse than 1. I think Zootopia 1, if you have Zootopia 1 here, Zootopia 2 is right here. But that could also be that I've seen Zootopia 1, I don't know how many times, and I know that movie forwards and backwards. So it's like, oh, I got a connection with that movie because I've seen it so many times and love it. I think Zootopia is a fantastic, perfect movie. And Zootopia 2 is right there. Like, if Zootopia 1 is here for me, Zootopia 2 is right here. Like, pop, 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 beating on the door. So, great movie. Highly recommend it. Go see it in theaters. It's tracking to be one of the highest grossing opening weekends, if not the highest grossing opening weekend for an animated movie ever, possibly, is what I read. And I will just say, the place was sold out for this movie because we ordered our tickets to go see this on a Wednesday, and every showing was basically sold out today. Because I checked, because we almost were going to be late for our movie, and I was going to see if there's any openings in another in another showing, if we can maybe switch our tickets or whatnot. And nope, there was nothing. So I'm like so happy that we thought of Wednesday going, let's order tickets now. But yeah, the place was packed out for Zootopia, and I don't what's what I'm looking for. Don't doubt it. As far as like, everyone go see this movie, Zootopia. If you even just like Zootopia 1, go see Zootopia 2 because it's phenomenal. Even adding the few new characters that they did add, cool. I will say that if you didn't know Roman Reigns and CM Punk are in this movie, you wouldn't know the Roman Reigns and CM Punk are in this movie because basically whenever they're on the screen, they say a catchphrase that's like one word 3 times, and at the very end, they both say like a sentence, and it doesn't sound like either of them. Punk maybe a smidge sounds like Punk. Roman don't sound like Roman at all. But yeah, like you could have had anybody play these characters. They're the zebras. You could have had anybody play these characters, and I'm not gonna give any spoilers or anything for what their catchphrase is, but this could have been played by anybody because the voices were not distinctive, and it wasn't just like, oh, who these are by the way they're designed and everything. Nope, not at all. They're just 2 generic zebras. So, hey, no, I'm going to have to remove you. I said no spoilers. Goddamn Jonathan. I just said I'm not going to say it for spoilers purpose. So, you don't put it in the chat for spoiler purpose. Do it again, and I'll ban your ass. Man, it's spoiling a movie that just came out 2 days ago. You fucking thinking, crazy ass. Anyways, great movie. Go see Zootopia 2. Go see Zootopia 2. It's fantastic. Like, I can do a whole podcast just on that night. I could I would love to start doing movie reviews. I don't know, though. Anyways, moving forward here. The Miz was complaining to Nick Aldis about the Last Time Is Now tournament. R-Truth came in and said, hey, I want to be LA Knight's opponent. Who's going to be the opponent? Miz said it should be him. And then Miz sneakily stole one of the balls from Aldis. And yeah, eventually it was revealed that it was him. But this is dumb. Damian Priest was then interviewed in the back. Looked like Damian Priest kind of bulking up a little bit, maybe. I don't know. He looked like it a lot. His neck's getting a little thicker and his shoulders are a little more broad, it seems like. And maybe that was just what he was wearing. I don't know. But he was asked about, Aleister Black's remarks about how his code was broken. Priest said that Black didn't accomplish that. And the only thing that was accomplished by Black was Zelina was pissing him off. Zelina interrupted and told Priest that Black was thinking of bigger goals. Zelina then came up and said, oh, where's all this punishment you keep saying is going to come? I don't see anything. And the only reason people are talking about you is because, Aleister threw a fireball in your face. Rhea then came up after Zelina left, and she was just like, hey, nice to see you. I got to go hype up Charlotte for an advantage match, but I want to run something by you afterwards. And he's like, you know where to find me. So, Yeah. Kind of needed to keep the black priest stuff going, but it felt shoehorned in there. RTS, I've already seen all 4 episodes of the new season of Stranger Things. No spoilers in the chat, though. No spoilers. I will just say that it was good. Like, it was, I can't wait a month. Give me the rest now, please. I need the rest of this freaking season 5 of Stranger Things. Please. I hate Netflix when they do we'll drop a couple episodes now, and we'll drop a couple more episodes in a month, and we'll drop a couple. They did this with Cobra Kai, and it pissed me off. God, come on, Netflix. Just either drop it one at a time, week by week, or drop it all at once, because I hate this whole chunks. At least it's not as bad as Cobra Kai, because Cobra Kai was like November, January, March, or something like that. It was weird. Just Green then comes out for the U.S. title celebration. She's out there, and she's just talking about she's the greatest female wrestler in all of WWE and all of the great North America and this and that, Canada, America, even Mexico. She says, wave your flags, as we've got a highly paid for pyro explosion about to go off to celebrate me. And she starts counting, and she's like, 5, she's like 5, 4, 3, yes, 1. And instead of, she's like, I don't hear anything. Instead of the pyro going off, Jade's music comes out, or Jade's music hits and she comes out. Jade makes her way down to the ring, storms down there. Once Cargill enters the ring, she hit Alba Fire with a pump kick before she turned her attention to Chelsea Green and planted her with a Jaded. Once Cargill left, there's a very expensive pyro that went off while Green sulked in the ring. I don't know what this is for. We're going to get Jade versus Chelsea? I hope not, because then one's got to lose and one's a champion, and I don't like that. This makes no sense on why they would even do this. But Jade then later was like, I attacked her because she was talking crap, and I want everyone to know, if you talk crap, I'm going to come for you. It's basically what she said. Then she scared B-Fab, and Meechin said, I think I need to take her down. That was later, though. That was actually like 2 segments later. Alexa Bliss with Charlotte Flair backstage along with her other teammates, Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. We're discussing plans for Flair's War Games advantage match against Asuka later tonight. AJ Lee then appeared and stated that, she'd make sure that her team would win at War Games tomorrow. Okay. Then we got that Jade segment. She said, Chelsea talked crap. I took her out. No one talks crap about me. B-Fab showed up, was like, like she's scared of Jade. Meechin's like, you all good? When Jade walked away, and then she's like, someone got to check her on her attitude. Maybe it's got to be me. Cool. Whatever. We then got our second last time is now tournament match, the quarterfinals with LA Knight versus The Miz. A Knight went on the offense early on and punched away at Miz before he took him down with a hard clothesline. With his foe stunned in the corner, Knight stomped on him and looked like he was about to drill him with an attack in the corner. Miz retreated, got a sneak attack, and took advantage. Miz's advantage was stalled, though, with a swinging neck breaker, but he got back in and was throwing him across the barricade outside the ring, followed by a big boot, and then there was a break in the action. The match continues after the break with Miz applying a rest hold on LA Knight. Knight eventually, though, got out of it and planted Miz with a back suplex, which left both men struggling with a double down. Knight at one point tried to go for the BFT, but Miz rolled him up for a pin attempt. He was then planted head first by a DDT and for a near fall. Knight countered a skull-crushing finale attempt into an inverted DDT. A lot of DDTs here. Miz then went on to pay homage to John Cena by locking LA Knight into an STF. Knight broke it by reaching the bottom rope. Knight then looked like he was going to go for an STF of his own, but Miz retreated to the apron. At one point, referee Charles Robinson saw Miz trying to cheat and stopped the count. His feet were up on the ropes. Miz yelled at Robinson, which opened up LA Knight to grab him for a BFT. 1, 2, 3, pick up the win, and there we go. Just an all right match at best. This match was nothing special. Just like this episode of Smackdown was nothing special. Becky was backstage again, trying to act like the leader of her team for War Games. Talked about how she's got more success in War Games than anybody else on the team. Talking crap. And all the other women were like, yeah, no, it's ain't about you. It's about Asuka tonight beating Charlotte. Shut the hell up, Becky. Is basically how that all went. Kathy Kelly then interviewed Ilya Dragunov, the U.S. champion. She asked about Tama Tonga showing up around him a lot lately. He's like, yeah, Tama Tonga, he's worthy. I think I can get a challenge out of him. And then, Ciampa came up. He's like, I stole Axiom's mask last week. Give me a shot at the belt. And basically, this is so dumb. Dragunov's like, yeah, no, you don't deserve it. You're a jackass. And he walks off. What? Duh, he's a heel. Calm it. This was so dumb. I didn't get this. I don't know what they're doing with the whole Dragunov won't give Ciampa a title shot. You would think at first maybe it's he's not going to give shots to heels, but he has though. He has. He's looking at Tama Tonga. He's already fought Aleister Black, and it's like, I don't know. But with that, remember, guys, if you want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air, you can do so on YouTube with a super chat, or you can do so on Twitch by donating Twitch bits. So then we had a War Games Advantage match, Asuka versus Charlotte Flair. Flair and Asuka engaged in some chain wrestling. The two have met many times in the past, and they're even. I think they said they're 4-4. It's either 3-3 or 4-4, something like that. Last time they fought was WrestleMania 2018 when the first time they fought, I think, was WrestleMania 18. Charlotte broke Asuka's streak. The last time they fought was when Charlotte tore her ACL. So was that December 23? So the two engaged in some chain wrestling early on. Both women kind of didn't have the clear advantage. Flair eventually took over as she kicked Asuka on the apron with a hard boot to the face. Asuka then answered in kind with a boot to Flair's face as we take a break. The match continued as Flair did her dodge over the top rope and then took off with a crossbody on Asuka for a 2. Asuka and Flair exchanged strikes and chops at one point as the latter gained the upper hand in the battle of chops. Flair then did her somersault into a clothesline to keep Asuka grounded. She then headed up top to try to connect the moonsault on Asuka and did for a near fall. At one point, there was a jumping knee strike by Asuka to Flair, but she transitioned it into an arm bar submission. Flair used her strength to lift Asuka up in a sit-down powerbomb for yet another near fall. Following this, Asuka rolled to the outside as a skirmish broke out in front of the announce table. Asuka disappeared from behind the announce table and tried to catch Flair with a blue mist. Flair dodged it, and just in time as Asuka ended up misting Berkeley, the timekeeper, Cody Rhodes' cousin. Back in the ring, Asuka countered Flair's figure 8 into an Asuka lock submission. Flair rolled through and escaped the hold as the finish of the match was finishing Asuka off with a natural selection maneuver and securing the win for her team. The babyfaces will have the advantage in War Games. Never a fan of this. I'm never a fan of babyfaces having the advantage for War Games. Just gonna say it. Speaking of Survivor Series and War Games, 4 matches have been announced for the card tomorrow. Got the Intercontinental Championship on the line when John Cena defends against Dominic Mysterio. We've got the Women's World Championship on the line when Stephanie Vicaire defends against Nikki Bella. In our first of 2 War Games matches, it's Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, and AJ Lee taking on the team of Asuka, Kairi Sane, Nia Jax / Legend, and Becky Lynch. And finally, in the second War Games match, it's Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, the Usos, Jimmy and Jey, and CM Punk taking on The Vision, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, and Brock Lesnar. So speaking of Survivor Series, we had a quote-unquote traditional 5-on-5 Survivor Series elimination match on Smackdown, not Survivor Series. It was Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, JC Mateo, and Tala Tonga against the team of Sami Zayn, Motor City Machine Guns, Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley, Rey Fenix, and Shinsuke Nakamura. So basically, this match was a 30-minute match, and they said, next 30 minutes of this show, commercial free. So it aired on USA Network commercial free. Did it? Let me know, guys, because I didn't watch it on USA Network. Like, was it the whole match commercial free? I don't know, probably. So the match kicks off with Sabin and Sikoa as the legal men. Sikoa hit Sabin with a hard lariat before he punched him repeatedly. This gave the MFTs the early edge as Sabin was dragged over to their corner by Sikoa. Loa then tagged in as he continued the attack on Chris Sabin. This was until Shelley was able to tag in and was floored by a tag team maneuver to Tonga Loa. Loa escaped his fate, though, and tagged in Mateo, who found himself chopped down to size before Zayn entered the match. Mateo used his power to slam Zayn down for the early pin attempt, as he then hit a nice standing moonsault on his opponent. Tonga then entered the match and provided a distraction to the referee, which allowed Sikoa and Tonga to get in some cheap shots on Sami Zayn. The MFTs then continued to play games and isolate Zayn on their side of the ring. Moving forward, Zayn leapfrogged over Sikoa and hit him with a clothesline. This gave Zayn the opening to tag Nakamura into the match. Nakamura then hit Loa with a hard knee to the ribs. He was then dropped by Mateo. Nakamura turned that around, though, as he hit his signature sliding German suplex on Mateo. Sikoa broke up a pin attempt as Zayn intercepted as well. Things then began to break down between the two teams as Sabin and Shelley teamed up to throw Tala over the top rope. The Motor City Machine Guns then worked in tandem to take down the big man with a suicide dive to the outside. Zayn and Phoenix then teamed up to take out Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa dives as well. We go to our first elimination here. First elimination here. Back in the ring, the Motor City Machine Guns teamed up together to pin and eliminate JC Mateo. This guy is just the fall guy for everything. Jeff Cobb, I feel for you, bro. I feel for you. Tonga stepped in as the next member of the MFTs. He went at it with Nakamura for a little while before Tama had the advantage to hit the not-so-hidden blade, the cutthroat, they call it, and eliminate Nakamura. Both teams down a man. Tonga and Tonga Loa joined forces to take on Rey Fenix, but couldn't eliminate the Speed Demon, I guess you would call him. Tried to hit him with a spine buster. Phoenix then found himself on Tonga Loa's shoulders, but he turned that into a roll-up and pinned Tonga Loa. Tonga then made an impact right away as he crushed Rey Fenix with the charge. My notes just froze. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me refresh these. There we go. Okay, cool. My notes just froze for a second. Where were we? Zayn was... Nope, I went too far. Here we go. Tonga threw Phoenix with a couple of scoop slams and was throwing him around everywhere. Eventually, Alex Shelley would get in the ring and try to set it for the skull and bones, but Tonga shoved him down to the outside. Tonga then made the tag, chokeslammed Alex Shelley, and eliminated him from the match. Sabin then came in, and, well, his fate was pretty similar as well. He was taken down by Tonga and eliminated. It is now 3-on-2. Phoenix then entered the match and had some good offense here. He fought both Tonga and Tonga Loa for a little while. Phoenix then leapt from the top rope to take out Solo Sikoa and Tonga. Back in the ring, Tonga caught Phoenix with the cutthroat and eliminated him, leaving Sammy 3-on-1 all by himself. Zayn got in the ring and knew he had a tall task ahead of him. There's a huge uppercut from Tonga that snuffed the attack. Sikoa tagged in and threw some shots in there as well. There was a running hip attack to Zayn. Tonga was next in, but Zayn blasted Zayn with a running splash. But at that moment, it woke Sammy up. He got a haluva kick, Tonga that was, and eliminated 1, 2, 3. Tonga didn't let Zayn get a moment, though. He came in and went straight on the former United States champion. The Canadian avoided a big boot from Tonga, which sent him flying over the timekeeper's area. Zayn then rolled himself back into the ring, which led Tonga being eliminated via countout. Came down to 1-on-1, Sami Zayn and Solo Sikoa. The two were fighting back and forth with big moves being kicked out of multiple times. Zayn at one point intercepted Sikoa's running hip attack with an exploder suplex, as he then had a haluva kick in sight. Sikoa, though, reversed it, rolled up Sammy, and pinned him to pick up the victory. So there we go. The MFTs get the win. So Solo celebrating afterwards and found himself, well, interrupted by the Wyatts. The lights go out. Fireflies are in the building. And just as the production credits were to roll, Uncle Howdy came in, snuck up from behind, and delivered a Sister Abigail to Solo as the show goes off the air. So there we go. That was Friday Night Smackdown. Just an all right show at best. We do have some super chats here. No, bit donations from Esports Gaming Rules. He says, going to watch SmackDown the next day after I wake up before Survivor Series War Games, so I prepare for the event. And there is a Lucha Libre event now on WWE and AEW's YouTube channel on the Spectrum app on demand. Yes, there is the AAA show right now. And yes, tomorrow is Survivor Series. We will be covering Survivor Series in full tomorrow night from San Diego. Well, we're here in, Oklahoma, but Survivor Series from San Diego, California. But with that, guys, you know what I thought of tonight's SmackDown. Now it's time to see what you guys thought of tonight's show as well. And we don't have a YouTube live poll because, well, YouTube didn't want to connect properly, so I had to start a new stream and didn't get a poll up. But we do have a couple others. We have the Threads poll. So the Threads poll, 50% liked the show, 49% thought it was just all right, and 9% didn't like it. Looking at the Twitter X poll, 70% liked the show, 17% thought it was just all right, and 11% didn't like it. And finally, looking at the little community poll, 75% liked the show, 14% thought it was just all right, and 11% didn't like it. With that, guys, that is going to wrap everything up. I want to say thank you for joining us here, twitch.tv/PW Unlimited, youtube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. With that, we'll be back live tomorrow night for Survivor Series. Have a good one, and I'll see you next time.